Hey y'all, welcome back. So let's dive in. The core cards. Page. Knight. Queen. King. These guys are crazy. We could spend hours studying each one individually, and we still would only have a surface level understanding. And I do encourage you, check out other people's videos, do a lot of reading on these. It's going to take a long time, but in a good way. Don't rush it, just let it settle in. So I'm doing 4 at the same time, just to give you a brief archetype understanding of each one, and hopefully with each suit, you see repeating patterns, and you get a better understanding of what these cards can actually be trying to show you. A couple things. One, they introduce a new dimension. So Page is going to bring Earth to the table, regardless of the element that it's actually in. Knight's going to bring fire, regardless of the suit. Queen will bring water, regardless, and King will bring air. And these kind of help you get a little bit of understanding about where they're coming from, right? Page is going to have something to do with Earth in the sense that it wants to bring something to now. It wants to bring something to reality, and that's why it's starting a new endeavor, right? Knight is fire because it's in the middle of doing that endeavor. It's got the energy. It's the one carrying it, and it usually has the horse to show, rapid motion. Queen, water, gentle, soft, and existing. Accepting, believing, intuitive, right? All of the water qualities. The queens tend to carry those a bit. And lastly, the king with air usually shows a sense of calmness. There's no rush. Sitting on the throne, got all day. I've seen it before. So, how do those apply to the wand suit? Well, we're just going to plug the suit characteristics in, and you'll see that at a basic level, at a beginning level, it translates through. So, Page of Wands, young, naive, but bright, an energy we really need. They're the person that comes up to you and says, hey, I know it's tough, but I believe in you. I can do it, and you can do it, and we can make it through. And they don't have a regard for the consequences. They're not worried about what lies down the road. They're just going to go for it. They might be afraid, but they're courageous, naively so, and they're just going to go for it. So a beautiful card to have. I really like the depiction in this deck for that card, where you have the page is walking down the road, and the cat's like, I see what's coming up, but he doesn't behind me. And in fact, he's over here what's up? What's that over there? Oh, yeah, not even paying attention at all. So Page of Wands, fun energy, very exciting, very charming, but also kind of whimsical, and not really in touch, ironically, with what's going on around them, probably. Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands has the fire of a knight and the fire of wands. Oh boy, so fire on fire, which means poof, tons of energy all the time. No, but in the archetype of the card it is. So, and maybe not to confuse you, but just because you see somebody come up as Knight of Wands does not mean they are always Knight of Wands. It just means in this moment, in this context, they are coming across that way. So they're very confident, lots of energy, and they're here to get it done. Woo! Right? They take up the room. They are the room. You're like, hey, how's it going? They're like, yo, I'm great. So anyway, listen to the story. And you're just like, oh my God, right? Make great performers, great on stage, great attention. Super strong Leo energy, right? But also, the Knight, I like to think about as, maybe in a more calm context, as just somebody who's active in their field. And that could be master, student, it could be anywhere in between, professional. Just somebody who's doing their thing. They're doing it with a stride, they're doing it with a strong pace, they're doing it with confidence, especially if they're a Knight of Wand. Knight of Wand, you see that card, it could be telling you, go out and do it. Go out and do it and own it. Own it! You know? That kind of energy. So, Page and Knight, very much like go out and do, accomplish, learn, see. Queen and King, exact opposite, right? Where the Page was walking and the Knight was on a horse, it's like, Queen and King are seated usually, and they're not going anywhere. That's because they're the masters of their craft. So Queens, like I said before, are the suit. They represent water, and they are the incarnation of the suit almost. And so a Queen of Wands is somebody who's so in touch with their passion, so in touch with what makes them tick. They know it. They are it. They exude it. And in an infectious way. They're super charismatic. This is somebody who ain't gonna take shit from anybody, right? Excuse my French. But you get my point. They are what they are. They love what they are. They own what they are, and they just have such a passion. They don't need to explain it. They just do it. They exude it. They have that energy, and nobody even asks them, "What are you about?" You know it. You're like, oh, and they're like, they feel like the sun being around them. King of Wands is that air quality, and I like to think of kings as coming with a sense of duty. I have come here to bring this message. I am here to give this, right? You stand before me to blah, 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 right? If we translate in that to more of, maybe a teacher, a mentor, somebody who's actively going to go out and give this message out. So again, both of these cards, I like seeing them as kind of like, especially when you see them together, that is a very complete picture. That's awesome. I love when I have the Queen and the King of the same suit in the same picture, because it's telling you the full completion of the Wands suit, right? You have attained the highest zen that is possible. Not actually, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. One does one job, one does the other. Together, unstoppable force. These are the masters. So, down the road, we're going to encounter the Page, Knight, Queen, King again, and hopefully this kind of sticks for you a little bit. Just a really brief introduction into these cards. Obviously, they have so many more meanings and nuances out there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you so much, and looking forward to see you for the next suit. Woo! Okay, I thought that was really exciting. I don't know, maybe. See ya.